All right, cool.
Go ahead, Dave.
Okay. It is said that those who do not know history are doomed to repeat it. This phrase is usually reserved for those who have not lived through significant historical events or tragedies preventable by hindsight. It boggles my mind, then, that I find myself sat across the very man who helped bring about an end to the last era of darkness, ignorantly brandishing the tools to help build another. He nor the lot of his cohorts that encouraged his short-sighted display seemed to grasp the basic understanding that these pieces of history belong exactly where they rest. To make matters even more insulting, they've asked me to help them. The matter is completely out of the question. Even if I trusted the ancient being that's guiding the group on their way, and it should be obvious that I do not, I am uniquely qualified to profess that any knowing possession of an item that belonged to an old god is a functional request to invoke the Doom Days once more. I've said my piece despite being bullied into cooperating for the short time that I have. My professional recommendation remains the same. Return this item to the gods and pray for forgiveness. I'm removing myself from the situation. I advise you do the same, Professor Fleischer. At that point, these words that have been presented on screen fade from sight and are replaced with, I am removing myself from the situation. Even reading my thoughts, it's plain to see that I cannot overcome my personal bias when it so pertains to old gods, ancient artifacts, and the looming threat of dread pirates. I leave this in your capable hands, Professor. You'll find out soon enough what significance this ancient arcana holds. When you do, know that while I will never approve of your involvement, I will be proud of the discoveries you have made. Professor Walter Cronquist.
Please continue the research.
He said it, and that's what it was. And also, please continue the research. Also, another journal slaps on top of that one. I've never seen anyone like him before. He definitely matches the descriptions of her, but it's more than that. His timid humility, his creativity, and the way that he's so inspired by the beauty in things beyond the way that they function. I think that there's something really special about Fuji, and I think he knows it too, even if he's afraid. And I imagine he is, all alone and traveling with a group of strangers that seem so invested in what he can do for them over who he is. But in spite of that, I have heard him laugh and I've seen him smile. I think that he's stronger if any of us can know, and I think he's more brave than he is afraid. And I think on that commendation of Fuji, we'll return to where we found ourselves last time. Kind of seems weird to start anywhere else. So...
oh, wait, what was that music we were just hearing? I think I asked about it in text chat last time.
This one?
Not the current one, what we were just hearing over that journal.
Oh, Sophie's theme?
Yeah.
Which that was Hema, confusing as fuck, I know, but it was a good tonal shift song. That is from Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Oh, okay. I must have heard it somewhere else, not something I've actually played.
Oh, I'm sure that it's popped up in YouTube videos or whatever. It's gonna.
Yes.
That game has an amazing soundtrack.
Someone else's background music.
Yep. All right, so back to Fuji. You are standing across from Matthias, who you've outed as a soul croupier. He is holding out a cup with dice in it, and he is just said to you, you want your friend's spirit back, you have to play for it. So jumping into that line, Will foreheads it. He looks down his beak at you, and he says, you ought to be familiar with the rules.
Not really. I don't really gamble or anything like that. I don't know, I've never played any of these games. Why can't you just give me his soul back? Why do I have to play you?
He says,
I know where it is, and Fuji goes to point at his ribcage.
and as you do so, you can kind of see light dancing underneath his robe, which he adjusts, covering it. And he says, because I want it fair and square. Now, if you want it back...
It's not fair and square if he doesn't know what he's playing for.
He kind of taps his beak a few times, and Hima leans in and says, Fuji, what did he do?
Who's asking me that?
Hima, your rock friend.
Oh. Fuji looks over and goes, he took his soul from him?
He kind of cuts in and he says, I won his soul in a game of chance that he willingly volunteered in.
Okay, but usually there aren't people who are actually taking your soul. How could he have known that? Just give me his soul back.
He says, look, kid, it doesn't matter if he understood the inner workings of the game. He agreed to play, and he lost. So if you want it back, you gotta play for it. And it's alright if you're too afraid to. Any one of you can find me and play me for it. But just know, if you lose, I keep that soul too.
Are you gonna be here all night?
He looks around and he says, well, if you don't scare away all of my clients, yes, you can find me here.
Okay, Fuji looks over at his friends. He's like, okay, don't play, guys. I'll be right back.
Roman was the one whose soul was taken, right? It wasn't the human. I'm remembering that right. Thank you, Ken, for keeping track of my story better than I do. Roman just kind of rolls his head to you and attempts to speak, but he just sort of mutters. And Hima sort of takes him onto her shoulder, and she says, is he gonna be okay?
Only if we get his soul back.
She says, but you'll get it back for us, right?
Yeah, I'll, yeah.
We should find Mr. Bellefontaine.
Fuji looks over and goes, yeah, that's what I think we should do. He can actually play these games.
It's a much better idea than you doing it. I promised Peter that I would keep you out of trouble, and that looks like trouble. So sure, yeah, let's go find him.
Matthias kind of scoffs. He says, what is Damien going to offer me that you cannot? I can't take his soul. There's rules, you see. We're not savages.
Oh, well, Damien had quite a few souls last we saw him.
He'll kind of roll his beak at that and rattle, and he says, oh, okay, lucrative then. Yes. Go get Damien. Bring him back here. He says, in the meantime, and he kind of goes back to his little stand here and starts addressing the crowd with a big flourish. Some of the crowd is sort of dispersed anxiously that was initially by him. He continues to draw people closer. So I'll move some of these guys away as the new fucking peeps show up.
Everyone who's betting, please use your best discretion.
So what do you guys do from here? Are you going to leave the area?
Yeah, we got to go find Bellefontaine.
Okay. How do you want to go about doing that?
Fuji, you got any ideas?
I have a terrible investigate.
Do you have
and I have no contacts.
That was my next question. Okay.
No.
I have a 2 in contacts and a 3 notice, but it would be an investigate, so I have a 1 there.
Yeah, I have a 1.
So maybe press contacts first, and then if that fails, go and investigate.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, this is interesting. Dave, could I potentially use my Rornoshka's Blessing in contacts since that's a social role?
You absolutely could.
Interesting. Okay, let's try contacts first and see how that goes.
Oof. Oh wait, but you didn't add anything to it, so you have a fate point to re-roll it.
Yeah, I'm going to just add 2 using Rornoshka's Blessing.
Okay.
This
I
time.
think that's smart. Yeah. Okay. So you're doing what? You're asking around in the crowd to see if anybody's seen him?
Yes, that's right. I mean, we knew he was here, so maybe we'll eventually find that person he talked to.
Sure.
The one that gave him directions.
Yep. So pretty much the way that the blessing will work is as you guys go to kind of canvass the crowd.
You find him. There he is.
He's right there. Yep. He's
I stopped for a corn dog.
yes. Oh god, he really is right there, huh? As you go and canvass the crowd, it seems initially hopeless with the one roll, and as you say a silent prayer in your heart, whether you're aware of it or not, I feel like Cleo pretty openly worships, if I understand correctly.
Mm-hmm.
As you pray to her in the way that you do, you look up and as if the seas seem to part in terms of your attention, you see a Quetzal over here, sort of very, very ruffled, as she's speaking to a few people that you overhear are expressing concern that they have been pickpocketed. And she is doing her best to sort of calm the crowd, but just something about this woman draws you to her. The Quetzal, that is.
She'll be the one to tell us. Come on, Fuji. And we'll approach. Just kind of like pushing our way through, but politely waiting for the few people to air their grievances.
Yeah, she kind of finishes up with this one lady, and she looks over to you and she says, "Oh heavens, did you have something stolen from you too?"
Oh, not at all. I'm sorry to hear that. That's dreadful. At a festival of all things.
She says, "Yeah, it would seem that somebody's taken advantage of the pleasantries of the evening to benefit off everybody else's distraction. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. People have been robbed."
No, not at all. If we had time to help, we would, but unfortunately, we have some pressing matters of our own. Something I was hoping you could help us with.
She says, "Oh?"
Yes, we have a compatriot, Mr. Belfontaine. We seem to have lost him. Have you perchance seen him?
Did Belfontaine give this lady a fake name, or did he identify himself?
Yeah, probably I gave a fake name.
God, it was a fake one. God damn it.
Yeah, I think Fuji would mention the masks, though.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be successful either way. I was just, you already rolled for it. I'm just thinking for the flavor of it.
I would love for her to like call out the name. Do you have any idea, Declan?
Declan, give me a fake name.
I forget, but in the moment, let's go with Snidely Whiplash.
She says, Belfontaine, no, I'm sorry. I'll be honest, though, I've been a little distracted tonight. I was coordinating all of the events with the marvelous Matthias over there, and then Mr. Whiplash came to gather his effects, and I'm sorry, I don't know where Mr. Belfontaine is.
He's kind of hard to miss, though. He's got like a mask that's kind of creepy.
Wide pan to the festival. That is basically Halloween.
Yeah,
It's like
everybody's
golden.
on
He's
that.
got like a cape thing.
Just gonna lean in and say, was he handsome?
That
Answer it.
seems subjective.
He talks like this. Says
Oh!
Cleo.
Yes! She's gonna say, it must have been his stage name then. Yes, he was here. Actually, he's headed to the Sleepy Hollow Inn. He's working with the marvelous Matthias, actually.
That sounds exactly like the man we're looking for.
She's gonna say, actually, just outside of here, you head to the town square, follow the mushrooms, it's pretty hard to miss. Big sign out front, Sleepy Hollow.
Okay. She will just kind of bow. Yeah, she'll
Yeah.
bow a little bit and then rise up and say, "Well, I am so grateful you've taken some time out of your already very hectic day. I hope you find whoever's responsible for stealing all that silver."
She's gonna say, yes, I'm just mortified that it happened when we have such famous company here with us.
Well, we can always hope that they turn over a new leaf and turn themselves over.
She's gonna say, one would hope. Well, enjoy your time at the festival.
You as well. Thank you.
And she'll dismiss you as she's immediately grabbed by this graphite that's just already yelling about the shit that was taken from him.
Breaks her over his knee.
he just does the Mortal Kombat like warp uppercut.
I found his name, by the way.
Oh, I put it in chat.
Shrimp Chombley.
Yeah.
I thought it might have been in
Chombley.
chat, but I'm very lazy.
It was like way far back. I had to open up a new window.
That's the kind of commitment.
Yeah. It's
a question that would have bothered me.
It's the little details that count.
Well, let's go find Mr. Bellefontaine. Or Mr. Chombley. I like Bellefontaine better.
Yeah. Chombley sounds like you're eating.
Yes, it does. That's funny. We should tell him that.
Oh, I think we should just... I don't know. I don't really understand his humor yet.
As you guys saunter off, there's a shot of Matthias entertaining a new crowd. And as you depart, there's a big puff of smoke. This young man is ecstatic to learn that his soul is that of a lion and not a mouse who gets to keep his soul.
Good for him.
Yes. So we're going to follow the group to the inn. We'll start with Bellefontaine ahead of times. But briefly, we'll return real quick to Jasper and Peter, if you guys did have anything to wrap up before we move to the next piece here.
I literally opened on the shop and I'm like, what goodies happen here? I don't, where am I?
Oh, I might have it hidden.
You have to reveal, unfortunately.
Roll20's been doing weird shit with this. I was setting stuff up and it was deleting pieces that I didn't delete.
Oh, he's fine. He's right here.
Everything's okay. Yeah, Roman!
I do have one tiny thing. Yeah.
Sure.
So I've had my 2 glasses, which is where he cuts it off. Because anything more than that, and you're just beating a dead horse.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's just going to be kind of like settling into his buzz and kind of reach that point you do when you've drank enough and you're being honest in a way that you might not be otherwise. You can always blame it on the alcohol later, so it's...
We're just being, we're just being girls. We're in a girl night.
And he will regard Peter and say, I think that meeting you took all my good luck, Peter. I don't know if it's enough.
Peter's still kind of finishing up his glass. He'll say, well, I don't know what that means.
Well, let me be a bit more clear. Cleo's planning on leaving the troop.
Peter will say, kind of surprised, sitting up a little bit, but maybe kind of wobbling a bit in his chair and having to correct his stance with his boot heels. He'll say, what do you mean?
Well, she all but said it 2 months back. Told me that she needed a change. So I cut in and told her I agreed. They were gonna head to Paradise and get jobs as surveyors. She was stunned. Took the words right from under her. I'd hoped that'd be the end of it, but I've known her for the better part of a century. There's still something going on in her head.
Oh. Peter will kind of hum. Resting his chin in his hand, very lackadaisically, he'll go, that's, Jasper. I miss my husband so much. He kind of put a finger, he's like, no, I'm going somewhere with this.
Jasper, if he had a face, would just be placid as he looks at you.
Peter reels his head back. He's like, I need to fuck!
He'll kind of like, no, I'm going somewhere with this.
Jasper, you look enough like him. I'm drunk. Let's go.
He'll say, listen, I wanted nothing more than to be as supportive to him than he was for me in all those years, following me from place, meeting to meeting, in office to office. I mean, he was so patient. When Alto Stratus was being constructed for those years, but he was miserable. You could see it on his face. It wasn't what he was passionate about, you know? I mean, heck, was I? Entirely
You're
no.
passionate about.
That's why I was passionate about creating a safe place for prodigals, but I mean, there's a reason my brothers are in charge. Anyway, that's not the point. He says, when he finally discovered exactly what he wanted to do, I don't know. I mean, I was so proud of him. Kind of like science. It's just not the same adventuring without him. So, like, I get it.
Yeah, I think you do. Which is why I really, really got to ask you a favor. Could you talk to her? She thinks a lot of you. And she might stick around if you ask. I just need some time to figure things out.
Peter will, he'll kind of, How do we feel about this, Peter? He'll, during my silence and thinking about it, he will be silent and thinking about it, and he'll say, is that good for her, though?
I mean, maybe she doesn't even want to leave the troop. Maybe I'm just reading into it. Maybe I jumped the gun. I don't know.
No. He kind of flops a hand. He says, I'll talk to her. Maybe I can get a little bit of insight into what she's thinking, and we could go from there. I mean, the troop's important. You guys are like a team. Like, a crew doesn't just split up.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, and I really don't want to have you just carrying me around all day. You know, you already got enough to focus on.
I mean, I don't mind. 'Cause you're great. You're great to be around.
It's been a while since I heard that, Pete. Needed that.
Just kind of like look down. And then he'll return his gaze up to you and say,
You're not going to do it for nothing. I'll owe you one. Favor, really. There are maybe only 3 of those out in the world right now.
Peter will say, a big Jasper favor, huh?
he will.
Off his glass and kind of set it down.
As soon as you do, the bartender fills it again.
No, I don't. Oh.
You try to put your hand over it, but
Yeah,
it's already full.
He's faster.
I was gonna say, you put your hand over it, he pours through it, and it sinks through your fingers.
Peter goes to put his hand over it, but it's just dumping on his hand. He goes, okay, all right.
Stop.
I like your delayed reaction time. Peter goes to put his hand over it, and he just kind of whiffs it because it's his fucking slow time.
So what are you doing? Stop.
He'll look up at you and say,
Like I said, it's not just any favor. Anybody calls on one of those, and heck, I'd drop this gig right now to help them out.
and then mechanically what I want that to be is if you help him out, like, you can compel me to do anything. Like,
Cool.
Wow.
I like that.
Yeah, like, as long as it's not killing a fucking troop member, it's fine.
Yes, you can't kill anybody.
Peter picks Jasper
You
up.
can't make him fall in love with you.
Yeah.
Be with me forever, Jasper.
You can't bring anybody back.
So lonely. He'll kind of like rub his nose with a thumb and he'll say, well, that's ridiculous because I would never ask anything of you, but if it makes you feel better, I accept these terms.
All right, let's drink to it.
Peter says, all right, and he picks up his glass, not really remembering that it wasn't full the moment before. He says, so what is the deal with Hugh anyway?
What, the strong and silent type? I don't know.
He says, you don't know?
He's not really a talkative guy. He usually hangs out with Leighton.
Huh.
Just kind of looks up and says,
You need somebody with good eyes. He's got 5 of them.
Peter's already like sipping and nodding along. He says, yeah.
You want to try cracking that nut? Go ahead.
He says, "Well, I want to get to know everyone who might be part of my crew someday."
I want to crack everyone's nuts.
My husband's been away for a long time, you.
I don't like that laugh.
Pete, don't do. Yeah, I take it back. No more like that.
Can we get the check?
Bartender keeps pouring.
Stop. Peter's hooked up to an IV.
I don't really have anything else.
No, same.
Yeah,
right away.
perfect.
They agree to do this thing.
All right.
And they just continue drinking over small talk that seems so much more profound than it does to the bartender.
Yeah, the last shot is as you finish your shared drink. As soon as that glass hits the table again, the bartender's pouring another one.
What if mountains are actually graphites?
Peter goes, "Oh!"
Pete, is the red that you see the same red I see?
Peter, we gonna be friends after high school.
Oh,
This is the
get us out of here.
Yeah, it's the one page I didn't.
They're only
put
going to
the
get more
scene
drunk.
transition.
We can't stop it.
All right. So Bellefontaine, you and Castus.
I'm actively counting my riches that I purloined from the festival.
Very good. You find yourself. Actually, I don't know why I cut the music. Yeah, we'll go with this guy. You find yourself in the Sleepy Hollow Inn. Yeah, we'll put this guy Graphite behind the counter.
You, Malachite. All right, time for round 2, eh?
Yes, do you actually say that, or is that?
No, I'm gonna waltz
I was
up
gonna
and say, my name is John Hangdown. I need some information.
He says, of course, Mr. Hangdown. You staying here?
Yes, I am to reconnoiter with, what was his name? The great...
Matthias.
Yeah, what's his title?
Oh, the marvelous Matthias.
I am the marvelous Matthias's scene partner, and I've just arrived into town on the most recent flight. We're staying in a room together because we're romantically entangled. Which room did he get?
Go ahead and roll deceive for me.
I didn't need to know that, but okay.
Yeah, he looks up at you and pretty much says exactly that. I don't know that I needed to know that. And he's gonna kind of look through his little keyboard at the bottom here. He kind of cuts a giant stone finger and he says, room 17.
Great. I'm going to go prepare a delectable sexual encounter for him to arrive home to. Don't open the door.
I was gonna say, we have a placard you can flip on the outside of the door. Just, we wouldn't want to disturb your fun, Mr. Hangdown.
No, I suspect you wouldn't. I'm gonna whip my head like a gay bartender and step up the stairs.
Yeah, adequately sassed. He is gonna try to look away, but he kind of can't help but watch you ascend the stairs as he shudders. He's part of it now. And yes, you find yourself in the hall. It's not difficult for you to count to the number 17, and you find that the door is locked.
Press roll lore to see if you can count to 17.
Oh my god, I'm sure there's a D&D aspect.
1, 2, 8. Why aren't the doors labeled?
You said it was door this many.
I've only
I
got the 9 fingers. Wait, how
I
many?
didn't even... Seeing the roll, that obviously succeeds. So you are able to make your way in, however you choose to do that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get down, pull out thieves' tools, and lockpick the door as casually as just inserting a key and opening it, and entering like I own the place, which is the correct attitude for any thieving.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think with a 4-2, just the nature of burglary, that you picked an opportunity where there was nobody to even see you in the hall. So casual performance, even though it's unwitnessed, you're through with flying colors. Yeah, and you find yourself in Matthias's room. Pretty appropriately hollow hearth, spooky room, very antique looking, very dusty, and you find that it is littered with small bones. Which, if you've spent any time around Matthias, you know his eating habits. But beyond that, anything that you want to find, you'd have to look for.
Oh God. Yeah. So I guess. All right, I'm gonna set myself up as best I can. I'm gonna try to create advantage with burglary. I'm gonna assume burglary can't substitute and investigate, but if I just go around the room opening every lock device I see, that should set it up and make it easier.
Sure.
Oh my God, dice, stop!
Oof. Yeah, if you're looking to create
I'm trying
advantage...
to think of a successful cost to succeed at to create it. Like maybe make it obvious I was here if it wasn't already.
Yeah, it could be that to kind of go through, he's reinforced some of the drawers, so you find that as you go to try to open it, you're going to have to kind of break some things to get into them. You can put it back as best you can, but it will be evident to him that it's been tampered with.
You're irreversibly fucked with. All right, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll break them. I'll leave a trail.
Okay.
To create it. God damn. My dice aren't feeling hot tonight.
Yeah, uh-oh. Well, yeah, you're good. You're due for a good night after last time.
And then, fuck, I'm gonna try to create advantage with notice as well. Which is obviously a good idea after how last time went. Okay.
Okay, that does create it. Yeah.
Just looking around the room, I'm like, trying to zoom in on the map. I'm trying to get a broad idea where I see valuables should be stored.
Sure. Yeah, with a notice, one of these drawers that you've opened has a lockbox in it. And what is it that you're looking for specifically? You're looking for anything valuable? You're looking for souls?
Yeah, I'm looking for souls. I guess I assumed ultimately what I'd have to do is an investigate overall.
Sure.
To find them. This has all been setting myself up for it.
Gotcha.
So I'll roll now a skill I don't have at a +4 now that I'm set up.
Okay.
Dog, calm the fuck on.
No, not bad though for...
I know. All right,
it should have been better than that.
I'm going to get out of the mindset. I know I have to get away from it. It's just so frustrating. Every roll has been utter shit.
I know. The fucking -1, you can't get away from it. All right, so we'll include that, the lockbox. So you've got one area that's evidently valuable, but as you go through and you overturn things, your notice advantage kicks in as well, and you hear something that sounds like the noise of mice running through the walls, that sort of high-frequency chirping and the little pitter-patters. But you can tell that it's coming from behind a wardrobe in the corner of the room. So you've got two points of interest here. You've got your lockbox, and you've got the wardrobe back here that's making mouse noises.
Okay. Sorry, did you say there's 2 different sources?
Yeah. I'm rewarding your sort of like advantages across multiple things. You've got 2 things to look into.
Okay.
The lockbox isn't making any noise, just the wardrobe.
Oh, all right. I'm gonna walk over to the wardrobe and open the lockbox on my way.
Sure. For the lockbox, just give me a burglary.
Roll me a -3 on the dice. Okay.
There it is. Okay. Man, how do I reward it with style?
You might give me a soul I can pilfer or a monetary bonus.
Yeah, I'll give you a bonus inside of it. So when you open the lockbox, two little spectral mice start scurrying out of it. You would understand these just by your proximity to Matthias to be the way that souls manifest to him. It's not difficult for you to scoop them up. And I envision that when you do, they turn to poker chips in your hand.
Yeah.
There's not like a contest that they have to fight for. It's pretty much as soon as you take over it, it becomes your currency. But in that, you also see a letter with a wax seal that has been opened and read. So just this will appear in yours and Sean's inventories, since I imagine you share a body and eyesight.
Yeah.
So in an inventory right under consumables in the eye, there's a letter that you'll be able to take a peek at. The wardrobe. As you approach it, you're able to kind of slide it one way, and you see that there's a false panel behind it. He's torn away some of the wood paneling and replaced his own little trapdoor. This one does not require burglary to open. You can open it for free, and when you do, there are 9 souls inside.
I'm going to pocket the 2, and I'm just going to close. I'm going to pocket another 2 from here.
Sure.
And stuff those away. He was like gonna start closing the door at first, but then he's gonna like take 2 and then close it again, and start theatrically marching across the room and just rip the letter open. He's got a letter from someone investigating other croupiers. Perhaps he is above the level about this. We should have an actual chat with him if he's not our culprit. Although, why do you suppose he's keeping 2 in a separate container from a whole hidden wall of them? Maybe this is a decoy box.
Or maybe someone else with him.
Someone else. They are all in his format, so it's not another croupier.
This seems to be out of our pay grade.
It was just put into our pay grade, Mr. Costas, being offered a buttload of souls for it.
I guess you're right.
As always, yes, the sooner we get this over with, the sooner you can have this wreck, and I can move out.
But what if this goes real high to the boss? What if we're meddling with, stuff that could get us in trouble?
Bellefontaine says, that would be just fine. You see, cheating is only valid until you get caught. And then the game's over. That's why I don't get caught. And I'm gonna tuck the letter into my jacket and start walking out of the room.
As you move to walk out of the room, you feel a familiar scratching inside your head.
Bellefontaine goes, I'm refusing.
Oh, sorry, those are my rats.
I'm refusing the charge. No telegram, thank you. I'm very busy.
I think you'll want to hear this one, Mr. Bellefontaine. He says, in fact, I'll pose it to you like this. I'm begging you to hear me out this time.
Ooh, I like difference. Alright, subject, let's hear it.
He says, you'll indulge me for a moment. There are some habits that I can't seem to get away from, but I have to start it this way. Do you know what an ostinato is?
Of course I do.
He says, then I'll explain it for your friend. Ostinato is a musical term that refers to one section of a melody repeating constantly, say, a familiar twang of a harpsichord on loop for the entirety of the song. They're a wonderful device, but they can be quite frustrating as they never seem to resolve. He says, the point that I'm making is it seems like every time I try to check in with your group, we're caught in this ostinato where I guide you somewhere, and Peter gets upset with me, and then more and more suspicion is cast on what my ultimate goal is. But you, Bellefontaine, I think out of anybody equipped to help me meet the end that I'm looking for, it is you, and I simply bet on the wrong horse.
Was I the horse you bet on, or was it Peter? Because he yells at me too.
It was Peter. You see, I misjudged when I believed that Peter might find intrigue with this mission. The relation that it had to his past and what happened 8 years ago, but he can't seem to look at me and not see that relative of his that caused all of this. And because of that, I've been pulling back on the information that I've provided to him. And believe it or not, this is our first opportunity to speak in private in quite some time.
Oh.
He says, and yes, that includes Fuji. I can't help that Mr. Costas is here, but frankly, I don't see him as much of a threat to this cause either, because it seems that your goals and his goals are very similar. Just so turns out, my goal is similar to both of your goals, Mr. Bellefontaine.
Oh, have you taken up being a croupier?
I believe if you search your mind, you may find that there is something that you are willing to possess very much. And I would like to help you get that. It also seems that you fancy yourself in the running to become a god. And I would like to help you achieve that as well. You see, I did the same thing 1,000 years ago. Only, I was not successful, you see, because I misjudged a very striking graphite and a plucky young opulent man whose frailty belied a courage that, well, surpassed my own wit. I fear that same end for you, Bellefontaine, and I fear that if you don't succeed, I won't succeed.
Ah, yes. Well, that's the rub of the difference in the thing I've known since I was born. It's unfortunate you thought that, because obviously I'm the chosen one to rule over the world, but we figured that out by now. I'm sure you know, you're dead.
It's evident that I've made not one mistake, but 2 in 1,000 years. So, will you help me meet my objective here? If I can help you meet yours.
Wait, Fontaine, I just had a great idea.
Yes?
How about we go to that guy in Cumulonimbus and help him get this guy out of our head?
Do you suppose he knows how to do that?
Maybe. He deals with, ghosts and clocks, so...
Well, hold on. I have to leverage something very quickly. So, you've made the leverage in this situation clear, Bartolo. In that I am the current frontrunner with all of the resources at my disposal, and you're dead. So I'll make you a counter-offer. You continue to help me, and I might give you your rightful seat in the kingdom once it comes, which seems to be your goal.
We'll call it a deal, but I haven't told you yet what I need from you to help me. Perhaps you'd want to hear that first.
Bellefontaine says, always establish hostile terms first in a business arrangement.
Of course, I have much to learn from you, Mr. Bellefontaine. What I want from you is the eye that you've developed such a growing fondness for. But this time, no tricks. I'll tell you exactly what I need to do to get it to me, and where I'm going to put it.
Okay.
I'll even tell you what it is, if that will help you trust me.
Boy, you really should have gotten ahead of this one. You do know we just dropped it off.
Yes, but I know that you'll be returning to it tomorrow morning. You see, I have a unique perspective on the way that these things happen.
Alright.
Very good. I need you to make physical contact with Peter. I need you to give me control, and I'm going to... we always want to avoid using the word teleport in our fiction, don't we? I'm going to transfer it away from where it is to where I am, in northeastern Glodia.
Bellefontaine says, I thought you were a ghost.
He says, man, I always say western when I always say eastern when I mean western. We're fucking slide in northwestern. He'll say, oh, I am a ghost. Quite dead for 1,000 years, but you see, I don't reside in your head, Mr. Bellefontaine. I travel through quite a few different doorways, as it would seem, but yours is mobile and very close to the, well, closest living relative to the aspect of Garima.
So you're not a ghost?
I am a ghost.
Doesn't
but I am a
sound
ghost.
very ghost-like.
I thought ghosts had to haunt certain places.
He's haunting me.
Gentlemen, I believe I may have confused you. I do haunt. I haunt the crystalline remains of a tragic hero who perished 1,000 years ago when the calamity began. A graphite that greatly resembles your friend, Fuji. It's my prison and my kingdom. But I'm able to move through it. I've acquired powers over the last millennium that allow me to do some, well, we'll call it restricted, if unique and beneficial movement. In fact, it might be something that I could teach you to do, Bellefontaine. Costas, I'm afraid you're bound to this body in a different manner.
I have more fun that way.
Well, yes, I suppose that sounds like a good plan for tomorrow. But, for the moment, I have to continue sleuthing this mystery.
Say, yes, of course. I wouldn't want my own objectives to replace what you're already doing. Think of it as extracurricular activities. Now, Mr. Bellefontaine, I imagine the rest of your party is not going to be very happy when I divine this item away from you. Are you going to cover that up, or would you like me to?
I was just going to blame you.
Let's say, fine by me. I don't think your friends like me very much anyway.
You have nothing to lose. Why not become the full villain at this point?
He's gonna say, it certainly would make you appear more heroic, wouldn't it?
Oh, yes, of course. I hadn't even thought of that, he lied.
Now, Mr. Bellefontaine, I'm going to ask you a very important question, and I want you to look deep inside yourself to know that I reside there with you when I ask you this. Can I trust you?
But of course.
Go ahead and roll deceive. Currently over you by 1.
Ah, fuck. I don't have any fate points. I haven't had them all evening.
Did you ever collect one though from when you last session you had done like a big thing? Did you actually end up getting a fate point for that? Because I didn't give it to you.
I don't remember.
So you should have entered with 2. Which I'm not just making up to conveniently help you in this story situation. I to my understanding.
You know what? One. Actually, this is very worthwhile. I am going to reach into my pocket while he's focused on me and tinkle the fetish of Metaphys to inverse his empathy, so he just utterly buys that I'm on board.
Yeah, you will turn that 4 into a -4, so you succeed with style over him.
I glow in the candlelight like the most trustworthy man. But of course, after all, we're both of royal blood. Our job in the world is to help each other out to sit at the top.
I knew I could trust you, Mr. Bellefontaine.
Peter's lost all sense of nobility. We'll get that back in order in due time.
You've made the right decision, my friend. Thank you for answering my plea. Now, you best get going. Your friends will be here any minute.
All right, and gosh, you know how in like movies somehow people like a ghost leaves them and then they talk about things in secret with some kind of crazy assurance that they're not still being listened to?
Yeah.
Right,
I'm hoping I have that as I then sort of wink at Castus and say, "Got him."
For your clarity, you can feel when he's there and when he's not.
Okay.
So he's not just like, what?
I said got him, but that was to something else.
To what?
Got Peter.
Got Peter. Yes, we're going.
Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
We're going to get
him, all right.
Get the crap out of him.
It's like later you're trying to sleep and Bartolo comes back in your head. Hey Bellefontaine. Got him.
Yeah, yes.
He makes it an in-joke.
Yeah, he's like excited to be part of it.
Yes, we did. And remember when you froze the screen in Super Smash Brothers and it was a really funny screenshot of Fox? Yes, the good stuff. Go to sleep now.
His head was going through the platform. There was hammer on top.
All right, yeah. My mom's making muffins in the morning. We gotta go to bed. It's a sleepover that talk that just doesn't add. It's like, all right, yeah.
Okay,
all right.
Fucking tired, guys.
Are you guys still awake?
Why don't we just stay up all night? What do you think?
No.
I'm not tired. So.
No.
Probably not.
You guys think
I like
Super Smash Bros will be online?
Hey, Reggie, I heard Master Chief was going to be in the next Smash Bros. Yeah, you're going to be in there. I heard it was going to have online. Damn you, Reggie! You and your tricks!
So good.
Damn you, Reggie! Yeah, I'm on my way back.
Okay. As you slide up to the top screen here, Bellefontaine, you'll be up on the stairs as Fuji and the troop, well, most of the troop, enter down here.
Could we be at the bar talking to him, and as Bellefontaine comes down, it's like, well, I didn't know they were lovers, but I'm very happy for him.
Yeah, lovers is putting it lightly. These guys are really hot for each other.
Or not to bless them.
He's like really into it. He's excited about how into each other we are, I can tell.
He's your biggest fan, and he'll say, "Oh, there he is now."
Yeah, as I walk back down, for some reason, since I seem committed to continuing to involve this man in a believable story, I just go, "I'm out of the mood now. Maybe it'll come back."
Says, my apologies. Something unsightly with the room.
I just didn't like the way you talked to me.
Sorry for that as well, Mr. Hangdown.
Good luck.
Oh, hello, Fuji. The rest? What are you doing here?
Hi, Mr. Bellefontaine. I guess I need you to play against your lover?
Yes, my lover, Matthias.
He took a friend of mine, he took his soul, but he didn't really know what he was fighting for.
Oh, played the game badly, did he? Well, tough luck.
No.
I can hardly take it. Two lovers, opposite sides of the battlefield.
Mr. Bellefontaine, please. Can you help me get his soul back?
Bellefontaine feels himself starting to launch into some couldn't be me, could care less shit. And then he looks over Fuji and his sweet, innocent face and his useful utility in this prophecy, and Bellefontaine puts his hands on his hips and goes, "Oh, Fuji, you're my one weakness in this world. Fine. I guess if you want to see me game."
And gay.
Yes, Gayme.
Love games.
Yeah, Fuji's just,
Stop.
Fuji is just gonna go, "Oh wow, thank you so much, Mr. Bellefontaine, sir."
Yes,
I don't think I
yes.
could have won against him.
Probably not. I'm glad you didn't try.
I might have if you had said no.
Oh, well, that's exactly why I'm helping, because you're going to make silly boy decisions like that.
We really should be going. He said he might be leaving soon.
Yes. Did you blow his cover?
Only a little.
Going to take that as a yes. Definitely skipping town then. Let's hurry. Oh, wait. In this case, I'm going to go back to the room and say, I'm going to look at front deskman and go, "I forgot a dildo," and step back into the room.
He's just going to say, "Of course, Mr. Hangdown."
And
You always like this?
I'm going to go shove the rest of the soul rats in a bag into my croupier's game box. And go back out, and Bellefontaine says, "Little lesson about leverage to the 6 of you." He doesn't count. Always have it. Better to have it and not need it than need it to not have it.
Is he
Okay.
talking about a dildo?
Oh, I hope not. Oh, I hope not.
I've never seen one. What is... Okay.
Cleo just pats Leighton and just shakes her head.
No, I really want to see it.
Who said that? Oh, little rock onion. I've never seen you before.
We've talked before.
What? No, I've only talked to Triangle Man.
You stole the... Then she, like, nudges a little bit from me. You remember?
The what?
The... And then she, like, makes a stabbing motion with her wrench.
No, I don't have any wrenches. I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about.
That's all right. Get it back eventually. It's probably in good hands anyways.
Yes, whatever merchant I sold it to, I'm sure he's making good use of it.
We really should be going, says Cleo.
Well, then, those of us who have legs, let's get going.
All right. So you guys begin to make your way back to the festival